In the year since GPT-4 was released, OpenAI's competitors have announced new or updated models that are similar in capabilities to OpenAI's GPT-4. So to ask just very directly, does OpenAI plan on releasing any new or updated models in the near future, or does it have any that are currently in the training or red teaming process?
Yes, we will release new models.
Is there any specific capabilities that it's going to be better at?
We don't really talk about that much before we release it, but we do say that one of the most important capabilities to be useful to what people want is reasoning, for lack of a more specific word. So I hope we'll be able to make a lot of progress there, but we'll also continue to make progress on every other dimension. I think one of the most important thing to say about GPT-5 versus GPT-4 is just that it'll be smarter. It's not that it's like better in this way or that way, which it will be, but the fact that we can continue to make progress across all axes of model behavior and capability at once, I think that's like the miracle.
Yeah, and do you know if there's any timeline of to when that new model would be released?
I mean, I do know it.
Sure. Okay.
In an announcement last month that you, alongside I think it was 3 others, would be rejoining OpenAI's board, the company kind of left room for the board's expansion.
Yeah.
What do you see that looking like? What do you think is missing from the board right now? And what vision do you have for the board's composition and goals going forward?
I think there's 2 things that I look for in board members. One is just someone who will be a really thoughtful steward of the company and the mission, and that's more about that's more of a general statement than any specific. I bring this perspective or that one, and I think that's like the first and most important qualification for a board member. Second to that, then I think you do look at people who can supplement us in specific ways. So, a global view on the policy challenges that we face and how governments should think about this, that could be one. Someone that brings an interesting lens on catastrophic risk, that could be another. Someone who brings like a great lens on how to like run a really great finance operation could be something that, given the complexity of what we need to do, would be a third. I would expect us to add a few more board members, not a lot more, and those, look at it from those 2 lenses.
Is there like a timeline as to when the board can expect future expansion?
No, we had a timeline to get to sort of this 7-person board because that just felt really urgent. But now I think we can take our time more.
Yeah. And I guess kind of compounding on a question that Akshaya asked a little bit earlier with regard to future models, does OpenAI's development do you see it continuing to hinge on just like an expansion of the GPT model, or do you see it kind of branching out even beyond?
Great question.
That?
We will obviously continue to push the GPT paradigm, but I'm very excited about new directions to explore. It's early research and, don't want to overpromise, of course, because science sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. But I think we'll be able to do important new directions. We take our time on this stuff. After we finished GPT-4 to when we released it was like 8 months. I think thinking about the impacts of these systems, studying them, figuring out how to make them safe takes a while. And I think if some of these new things do work out and the capabilities really kind of increase significantly, investing the time to really figure out how to do that responsibly is quite important.
Can you tell us a little bit about when we might begin to hear about some of these results?
Not really. Again, science works on its own schedule, I've learned. And also the amount of time it takes us to get comfortable with something that's a fundamental advancement before releasing it. We also can't predict that. I'm not going to, but I could tell you when like the next sort of GPT model is likely to come out. But new things, we need like a lot of flexibility on that.
Thank you so much.